I have decorated my car with some art by Paul Sommerfield. And look, I did it for a few reasons. I love local art and I just really wanted to support the art.
The design that we did for Joe's car, I really like the botanical elements and the way that the sort of like the roof and the sides, they all sort of like worked.
I will be discovering things in this piece for years. I really like Paul's works. I've seen Paul's works displayed in Canberra quite a lot, and I've seen the murals that he's done. And I met up with him for a coffee and he just gave me the most gloriously artistic, inarticulate scribbles, and I just knew he would do a fantastic job, and he has. He has done exactly what you want an artist to do. He's taken the brief and just run away and made something glorious.
Well, it's quite a process. First you got to like measure the car, and you got to be quite like you got to think about how all the different parts kind of are wrapped on. And I use a company to do the wrapping, so I just had to come up with a file. But yeah, quite a lot of thinking about the different curves and how the different parts sort of work together. Yeah, I found it quite challenging, but it's worth it.
We've got this wild cacophony of nature and art, and we've got nature sort of taking over the city, which is just a beautiful way to think about Canberra. I think that actually happened a bit post-fires. We've seen a lot of nature has moved into our city. We've got some really cool sort of steampunk ships. There's a whole lot of renewables. We've got wind farms and solar, which is just sort of showing how we're moving forwards with our 100% renewables. We've got a lot of really cool people who are holding up plants and doing some planting and hanging out with animals. My daughter commissioned some of it. She requested some rainbows, and we have some rather cool rainbows in there. And I really love the colour palette. It's sort of this crazy 6-year-old's bright, happy colour palette, and I think that is the best antidote to 2020 that I could think of.
I hope people smile and have a laugh, or just sort of it cheers up their day when they're driving in traffic, stuck in traffic, and they can see this completely interesting, botanical themed, quite fantastical car covered in, or artwork covered in a car.
It's particularly during COVID, that's a lot of our artists have taken a hit, so I thought this was a lot cooler than the standard politician car wrap. And I also wanted to just make a bit of a thing of my new EV. I think EVs are a really key component of our climate strategy, and I think the more we talk about EVs and see them driving around, the more we'll start to realise that this is just a really good way forward.
On where the PowerPoint goes, I bought this little Canberra design, which I think will be quite an interesting little detail.
I think what most people are doing is laughing. I'm thinking of this as the glorious, crazy vision of the Canberra I always wished I'd grown up in.
I'm looking forward to seeing Joe's car driving around Canberra.